Hello everyone, welcome to Vignol CAD Design with Vignol. In this lesson, we are going to draw a simple 3 stairs. So, in this case, we'll convert 2D sketch into 3D model. But first, let's start with good practices by creating our folder, which is where we will place every drawing of this lesson. Okay. To do this, we can go to the data panel and then select create new folder. We can set the name of the folder as master Fusion 360 in 30 days. And then we can save it. So now our folder is saved. Now we can go to what is important, which is to our lesson. Okay, so first we have to know some basic things. For example, you have to make sure that the units are set to millimeters. So you can go to your browser and you'll see units as millimeters. You can check it by clicking it, and then you can see if it's in millimeters or centimeters or meters. If it's in meters, then you can change it to millimeters. And then in this case, you'll click OK. If it's already in millimeters, you can just leave it. Okay, so first we have to know where our drawing will be placed. So it depends mainly on the drawing shape. So if you take the cursor and place it in the cube, you'll see the views that you want your drawing to be placed. For example, you can place it in the front view, in the bottom view, in the right view, in the back view, in the left view, and even in the top view. It depends mainly on the shape of your drawing. And for this drawing specifically, we'll be using the front view. So we can click front view, and then the next step is to create a sketch in that view. So we'll go to the solid feature and we'll choose create, and we'll select create a sketch. So in this case, our sketch will be in the front view. So now we can select it. You'll notice when you approach it, it will highlight like this. So you select it and you'll see that a sketch workspace opens. So it means that you are in a sketch workspace. So it has to be like this. So to start our drawing, we need to select which type of feature we'll be using. For example, for this specific drawing, we can use the line tool. So you'll go to the toolbar and you'll select line feature. Okay, and also notice that when you are drawing, first make sure that you start from the origin and then you go to the direction that you want to go. It doesn't matter if it's to the right or to the left or even upper or lower, but make sure that you start from the origin. For example, we'll start with our base, we'll click in the origin, and then we'll go to the right. We can place manually, for example, as 75 and click OK. And then we'll do the same with the height. We'll still be using the line tool. We'll click it and then click in the origin and then go up and select 60 millimeters and then click OK. So now let's draw the first stair step. We'll be using line tool. Again, notice that for this drawing, we'll just use the line tool. So we'll click and then we'll go up, and then we can set, for example, as 20 millimeters and then click OK. And then we'll draw its width. Let's, for example, set it as 25 millimeters and then click OK. Notice that our first stair step is drawn. So to organize our sketch workspace, we can place the dimensions up or down so that it doesn't get us confused. Okay, so let's continue using the line tool to draw our second stair step. So we'll click in the point and we'll go up and click 20 millimeters and then click OK. And now we'll draw the width. Let's set it as 25 millimeters and click OK. This is our second stair step. So let's finish with the last one, which will be, for example, 20 millimeters and click OK. And now we just need to close it so that we can have our 2D shape. And it's also 25 millimeters. Notice that after finishing it, after closing it, it highlights like this. It highlights blue. So it means that our 2D shape is complete. And make sure that our 2D shape is already complete. In this case, it has to highlight once you finish, because if it doesn't highlight, you won't be able to extrude it, which is our next step. So make sure that it highlights like this when you finish. So now we'll finish sketch and then we have to extrude it. So we'll go again to the solid feature and we'll select create and we'll select extrude. So now we'll extrude it to convert it to 3D model. So we can take our cursor and then place it in the arrow, and then we can move it to the right or to the left. So for example, for this drawing, I will go to the right as 30 millimeters. If you don't get the dimension that you need, you can set it manually. For example, 30 millimeters. You see? And then you can click OK. So that's our 3D shape. So that's the lesson for today. And as you see, you can see it in the front view, right view, in the back view, in the left view, in the top view, and even in the bottom view. And also you can see it in the isometric view. Okay. And to see in the isometric view, you just need to click in the shape of house that it is here, and then you'll see it in the isometric view, which by the way is the one that is required in the most of the times when you want to present your drawings in your project or even in university. That's the view that is used to represent our drawing, the isometric view. So that's the lesson for today. But never forget to save your drawing. So we'll go to the toolbar and we'll select save, and we can set, for example, as lesson 1, and we can choose how or where we want our drawing or lesson to be placed. For example, we created a folder which was Master Fusion 360 in 30 days. So we can select it and then click save. So our drawing is saved now. So thank you all for the lesson and for being here until now, and to watch the video till the end. I hope to see you all in the next video. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.